Hello everyone. When last we left our hero, he had found not one, not two, not three, but four forges on 350-foot floor, which is utterly absurd. And I went through and kind of tried to squeeze water from a stone to get 3,000 experience so that I could take Artifice, without remembering, of course, that I need experience. I need about 500 experience to make the artifact I want to make. So I thought about it for a while, and I could splunk around this dungeon floor, and hope that some monsters I haven't fought before come up the stairs. I think Easterling warriors are a monster that is very common at this depth, and I still haven't fought them, so I'd get a few hundred experience for that. And I could probably find a way to identify these poison arrows that I still haven't been able to identify, and that sort of thing. But at this point, I think it would take like at least 1,000 turns or a couple thousand turns to do it. And I like to stay ahead of the clock at this point in the game because you want to spend more time at the deeper floors. And right now, I mean, I shouldn't have taken Artifice, that was dumb. But at least we have it. We were going to need it anyways. Who knows, maybe we'll find a forge on the next floor. And then we can make the helmet then. But I guess what I'm getting at is also because I've identified so many things already just to get the experience by taking minor risks of consuming things and making rings I normally wouldn't have made. I don't know how much it's really even going to help on the next couple of floors to have that helmet. So could do a couple things here. I could take a look at some of the artifacts we could make with no experience. But there's nothing that really comes to mind that would be super handy at this point. So I think what I might do is do what I was doing all along, which is create some amulets that and rings that, you know, I might want to identify later, just so we can get the show on the road. If I had a bit more time or patience, I'd probably spend more time here thinking about what would be optimal to make. But that means that this sapphire ring that I have in my inventory here is probably something good. Might be cold resistance or fire resistance. Or I don't think I've ever found a Venom's End ring, like on the ground. Might be a Ring of True Sight, which would be awesome. It's definitely not damage. Which ones haven't I made here? What did I just make? Sustenance, Hunger, Wrath. There's a Lantern of the Shadows that's a cursed lantern. I was hoping I'd be able to make it, but I guess you can't make items with sticky curses. What about Boots of Soft? That takes experience too. Right. Free action. Sure. Well, we know these boots aren't free action. I have a ring of free action, right? Okay, so I don't need these boots. And that's it for my fourth forge, so probably not as exciting as you were hoping. Certainly not as exciting as I was hoping. But still, this is really one of those things where you can't complain. So here's the deal. I'm going to go for the stairs and let's get moving, but it seems pretty cool that we found all these forges and, you know, we're at 350 feet and we've got a really strong character. Problem is, though, that risk that I took in consuming all my consumables just so I could get enough experience to take Artifice didn't really pay off. Like, I dumped a bunch of experience into ability that I can't fight with. Artifice isn't something that's going to help me in my normal fights. Now, of course, like, on this whole floor, I'm going to be looking at the experience I could have gotten, but this wouldn't have done it, I don't think, yeah. If a unique orc came up the stairs, I'm going to be cursing on screen here. Oh. That's nice. I'm going to keep that. So what I was saying is, oh man, I'm really close. Maybe I could have done it after all. No regrets. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so basically I dumped all this experience into an ability I can't use here. And so I'm not necessarily as strong as I would like to be for having done all that crazy stuff, but... Was I on 400 feet when all that stuff happened? Man, I am hella confused right now. I could have sworn I was on 350 feet making all those items. Weird. I don't think staircases in Sil are supposed to jump you to depths. Okay, well I'm going to go back and look at the video later, and if what happened, or what I think happened actually happened, I'm going to be filing a bug. Let's go left. Aha, so this is somewhere where our light radius helps us, those shadow worm masses. This is the first time where you're probably encountered 2 darkness causing monsters in like one room, and their darkness is additive, so that can be a really big pain. What is with this door? These are another kind of monster that I find confusing. Like, how many dragonflies do we need that confuse me? I don't get it. They just keep getting stronger, but yeah, see, that one hurt. Like, I'm not sure if that one's gimmick is that it hits well. When you see this kind of room conformation, it's possible that you're in a vault, like when you have this kind of weird square thing, or at least like a dangerous area, so tread carefully. But you can see how much having this extra light radius is really reassuring. This is like the best scenario to catch an archer in. Sorry guys, but this is not your day. Alright, here we go. Now we get to fight some fun monsters. Wargs are like my least favorite thing on the planet. They're getting the nerf bat in the next point release, I believe, but they're fast, like all wolves. They hit really well, like their melee score is high, especially considering they're fast. And they hit for a lot of damage, and they're really hard to hit, and they have a lot of protection, and they chase you, and they're smart. So I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand why they're like this. But we're not going to have too much trouble with them because we are super jacked right now. But even so, like you can see, they're still punching through protection, generally making a nuisance of themselves. And if they decide to chase you, I mean, I have sprinting, so I can sort of run. I'm going to get out of here. But I basically just hate these things. Like, they're my most hated monster in the game. Well, at least in the early game. So I have tons of experience right now. I'm going to get rid of one of my points of Grace Drain. I'm going to take a point of Will. And now I'm going to grab Hardiness. The reason why I took that point of Will is it gave me a bit more protection than it would have otherwise. And then I guess I'll take critical resistance when I can. There are a lot of works here. The thing with wargs is they can't open doors, like they don't have opposable thumb, so they can't just like reach up and open the door, but they have to smash them down. Like, this is absurd. I really think if they're supposed to be this strong, they shouldn't come in this many numbers. I'm getting manhandled right now. Where are the stairs? I might have to get out of here. This is embarrassing. The only thing that sort of helps here is that they don't... wargs don't regenerate that well. I am out of here. I guess that staircase was supposed to transcend 100 feet worth of dungeon, because I was at 450 feet, and it just gave me the message it gives you when you've tried to exceed your min depth. But I was going up to 400 anyways, so I guess I just don't understand what's going on here. Maybe there really are doors that, or stairs that that do that. But yeah, so wargs, no fun. I'll have to pump my evasion a bit, which is what we're concentrating on next. Maybe I'll get melee up to 10, and then we'll focus on getting evasion up because we want to get some of the evasion skill trees. Hey, Easterling Warriors, where were you when I needed you? These arrows still refuse to be identified. Oh, that was a false floor. False floors are great because they dump you into a level that you're not ready for, and they hurt you at the same time. So now we're going to have to deal with wargs again, probably. What kind of trolls are these? These are normal trolls. By normal, I mean ones I've met before. Poor guys. Awesome. Guess what I don't want to do for right now is fight these things. So you can see, right now, I don't know if it gives you a message when they're trying to beat down the door, but I guarantee you they're trying to beat down the door. So you can save yourself a bit of angst. The other thing they might be trying to do is flank me, so maybe they know something I don't, and they're trying to come around. And if that's the case, I will not be amused. Distended Spider. I don't particularly like these things either. They have a lot of hit points, so they can take a while to kill. And yeah, they badly poison you. That much poison, and it's fast acting poison too, so you can just, once they've hit you, you're kind of destined to lose half your health. And that's fine when you're fighting them one-on-one. But if you meet them in combat with other things, it's no fun. This might be one of these vaulty kind of rooms. Yeah, okay, so this presence of these two barrow wights means that this is kind of like a mini vault. A glaive and a marble ring. Well, I've used pretty much every ring that you can use that auto-identifies, so this is fun. See, these are kinds of monsters I don't mind fighting. I'm just really worried like a pack of wargs is going to show up behind me. Did I kill that thing? No. I think these wights Why are there so many of them? Did I not just kill them? I think they resist criticals. Yeah, it's resistant to critical hits. Hey, they hit pretty hard. Oh, I didn't know they did that. This touch to entrace, what they really mean is entrance. They're not going to like put a little chalk line around you. So they can paralyze. Better safe than dead. So I put on my ring of free action just in case they think about trying to paralyze me. This is getting nasty. And this is Undead Central here. So if I was smart, I would start taking evasion sooner than later. My least favorite things. And they always seem to take the front too, like, could you possibly make me hit you even more? Howl this. That Easterling warrior thought he was going to be clever by sneaking up on me. Am I bleeding? Yes, I am. Alright guys, this is getting bad. Not looking good here, what can I do? This distended spider is going to make short work of me. If it bites me. I don't know. I could take another swing at this ward. Let's try it. Alright, this is where things get bad. Oh, and also, to add a bit of excitement to this whole thing, that purple dragonfly will drain my dexterity if it hits me, so... Oh, I forgot that was there. Okay, spider's dead. I'm out of slow poison. I have one last orcish liqueur left. Remember when I prophetically said that putting all that experience into Artifice wasn't going to pay off? Oh, wow. And the ward criticaled me, even though I have critical resistance. Like, I absolutely hate those things. I can't wait till they get nerfed. I'm going to be so happy. But, so there we go. I usually do a lot better than this. And it could be that by diverging from my normal path so much, like, that experience would have gone into evasion. And if I'd had any evasion here, I would have been a lot better off. So, I know I was whining about the wargs and how strong they are, but really it's my fault. That was a dumb mistake. I got too excited about those forges, and I should have curbed my enthusiasm. Now let's look. These 38 poisoned arrows that, holy moly, I never identified, despite the fact that I shot a bunch of people full of them. What else do we have here? What were these boots? So these were stealth boots. They were not the slow boots that I feared they were. And everything else I think I'd kind of ID'd. Yeah, that ring, sapphire ring that I thought was was some kind of resistance, was warmth. We made that. Disconnection, those drain grace, so never something you want to do. That's a bummer. That just goes to show you, just because you get a lot of forges doesn't mean you're going to survive, especially when you play as crappy as I did. I'm really, really curious about that staircase that took me down 2 floors. That I find confusing. And again, this is the kind of situation that was precipitated by a false floor. If I hadn't had to deal with that false floor, I may have known where a staircase was and I just could have ran for it, but I was running blind here and I got killed. So that's it for this build, and you didn't even really get to see the best part of it, which is when you get the second part, the evasion part, where we take heavy armor use and blocking, and then we start creating some artifacts. But I'm not sure if I will give this build another run in the next video, or if I'll pick a different build and show you how much that makes things different. But yeah, that's it. So thanks for the ride. You get the gist of how to go through the early game. And I guess the other thing I could do is pick up... I've been making backup save copies before I start playing. I haven't save scummed yet, but I've been thinking about doing it just for educational purposes. Like, it's not like I'm playing this game for real when I'm watching these videos. It's really just to show off the game. And you've just seen how easy it is to die. So it's possible that I might pick up at the forge that I left off at the beginning of this video, and just keep going again, just to show you where the build can go if we don't run into the threats that we ran into here. I'll think about it before the next video. But that term I just used, save scumming, if you're not familiar with roguelikes, it's like the worst thing you can do. People will kidnap and torture your children for it. It's when you make backup copies of your save file to avoid permadeath. And again, if I was playing to win, I wouldn't save scum, but if I'm just playing to show off the depths greater than 450 feet, I don't really want to spend another video grinding this whole character again, so we'll see. But I'll think about it for next time, and then I'll see you next time. But for now, enjoy Salantar's funeral, and have a great day. Oh. Wait, sorry. Before we do that, I have to take a look at the dungeon. Mithril Helm of Brilliance, that's awesome. I totally would have kept that. Green Potion of Constitution, True Sight, Awkwardness. Oh, those would have been handy. Oh, I see why all those Barrowwits came after us. There were 3 little vaulty things. Rusted Herb of Healing, Potion of Healing. This is one of those rings of stat boosting I told you about that's +0. Looks useless, but it should really just be called a Ring of Sustained Strength. That's what it does. Sanctity, that's the Breaking Curse stuff. Or Sticky Curse, I guess. A Throwing Axe of Demon Slaying. I can't say Rakau Slaying. A Rakau is a demon. Yeah, nothing really epic down here. I died on a crummy floor. Oh, the Longbow of Himring. A Longbow of Himring. I can't remember what that does. It's not like I'm going to use a longbow anyways. Alright, well that's about it. Now I'm really saying goodbye. See you later, guys, and hope you enjoyed my ignominious death.